back, my little nightmares, me Queen Nightmare, and I am going to read the Snarry story. Also, I used my mom as a reference to ask about the debacle. Okay, the issue that I was having with the Hermione story, and she agreed with me that no one talks about a thing that long of a conversation. Yeah, you're drunk and whatever, but no. Okay, no one talks about that. Anyways, chapter 28, letters. I'll go organize some sandwiches while you guys work on the letters, Severus said as he got up from the edge of the pool, dipping his feet into the warm water. Harry and Theodore had felt like going for a swim, unlike Severus, who complained the water was too hot for his liking and only put his feet in. Just as Theodore went to get out of the pool, Harry pulled him back in and attacked him with a wave after wave of water splashing into his face. Theodore held up an arm and surrendered to Harry as he struggled to fight back. Both of the boys got out after that and dried off with their fluffy towels before walking out of the pool room and into the office. As they passed under the door frame of the pool room, a warming and drying charm washed over them, which expelled the last of the water off of them. Harry led them into a room a few doors down, leaving it slightly ajar. Harry sat down in a comfortable chair behind a mahogany desk, while Theodore sat in a leather chair in front of the desk, pulling it forwards so he could lean against the desk to write the letters. So, do we want to split up the people who we want to invite and do half each? Theodore asked, and Harry nodded as he pulled out a pile of parchment, ink bottles, and quills. All right, and do we want to draft what we send to everyone before we start writing? That's a good idea, Harry answered, and the two went on to discuss the time everyone would be able to arrive and what to bring if they wanted to stay the night. Theodore was a pretty good event planner, as Harry found out. He was on top of the smallest of details and corrected Harry if he got something wrong. Harry smirked as he thought he could definitely use Theodore's talents later down the track. An hour and a half later, the boys had finished their letters to their friends and had to double check to make sure that there was no mistakes. Severus had brought lunch in for them, and then left to make some potions that Madame Pomfrey had asked him to make before school resumed. Theodore called for his owl and asked to deliver all the letters by the end of tonight, stating that it was important everyone got their letters. Harry was worried that his owl wouldn't have them all delivered in time, but Theodore reassured him that his owl, Castiel, was the fastest owl he had ever come across. I don't know if that's in reference of Supernatural or... Casti needs you. Boyfriend senses are tingling. Oh my gosh. Castiel, the fastest owl in the garrison. Yep, everyone thought so. Wow. Now we just need, we need Crowley. That's probably a tiger or something. Each animal. Dean and Sam. We just need those. All of them. Those four need it. Yeah. Well, what should we do now? Theodore asked. Well, I'm going to make some food for tomorrow and then get a start on dinner. You can do whatever you please, Harry responded, standing up and clearing away all the equipment he had finished using. I'll be in my room working on some homework. Just call me when dinner is ready. And with that, he left the room, returning to the solitude of his room to have a little nap before getting a start on his homework. Harry left not long after and made his way into the kitchen, cleaning his hands and the bench, so there would be no cross-contamination, which is very important. A lot of restaurants don't do the same. Also, I wonder if he told Severus about that really weird demon in the back? Because that would be a rude awakening if it attacked him. Author's note. Okay, I apologize for this chapter coming out so late. My mom and I were in a car accident, and I only just got the energy back several days later. I finished this chapter. Hope you enjoy it. Please comment, vote, and everything else I normally tell you to do. Until next time, peace out, my chicken nuggets. Aw, I hope they're okay. I know this was like maybe the end of 2016, but I hope they're okay. Chapter 29. No! Of all days, but today. Why do you do this to me, Mr. Chicken Nugget? Or Mrs. Mr. or Mrs. Chicken Nugget? Why'd you do this to me? I'm just gonna call him Mr. or Mrs. Mr. or Mrs. Chicken Nugget. Because that's how I know them as. Because they call me a chicken nugget. Chapter 29. Warning. Does get a little smutty in this chapter. Of all days, but today. A knock at his bedroom door woke Harry up. He threw the sheets off of him as well as Severus's arm, and made his way slowly over to see who woke him up. Theodore, are you okay? Harry asked, as it wasn't normal for his friend to wake him up. It was normally Harry who was waking Theodore up. I couldn't sleep in, Harry. I was just too excited. But everyone coming over today. Is there anything I can do to help with the preparations? No, actually, Harry replied, stepping out of the room, closing the door quietly, because I went to bed last night and I ended up doing everything. But have you set everything up yet? Theodore asked, eager to do something. Like, can I set up games, or food, or tables, or plates, or cup? Theodore! Seriously, take a chill pill, or I will shove one down your throat, Harry said, cutting off the other boy's rambling. He sighed and started to think about different things Theo could do for him. I might get you to set up the tables with everything and leave the food in the fridge for now. You could add more chairs to the sitting room. That could be great. Also, I need you to find this thing for me. I can't remember where I left it. Here, I'll draw what it looks like. Harry went back inside his room, quickly sketched a random item that wasn't in his house. Nice. He just wanted to keep Theodore busy, as he didn't want to be disturbed from his sleep again until it was time for the party. All right, let me know when it's an hour before everyone is due to arrive, please, Harry said with a yawn to end his sentence. He passed the piece of paper over to Theodore and went back to his room. Severus sat up once Harry closed the door and rubbed one of his eyes. Who was that? Severus asked tiredly. Who else could it be? Donald Trump? No, you idiot. It was just Theodore asking about tasks he could be doing to help the party, Harry said sarcastically, as he climbed back into bed. Severus saddled Harry. Why? How bad does it get? Why? Just why? Just why? Okay. It's not that it is smut in here. It's just my mom's home, and there's literally not even a 6-inch wall between us. But then again, she is deaf sometimes, as you can tell from. Well, it's gonna be, I think, tomorrow. Well, today's, because it's Friday. Oh, okay. I think what they meant was Severus straddled Harry and pinned his hands above his head. He leaned down into his ear and whispered, "I don't appreciate your attitude. It's not very nice. Harry." He whispered his name in the lowest and deepest tone he could muster. It worked because he felt and saw Harry get goosebumps. "And now that I'm awake, I might as well satisfy myself with you," Severus said as he moved his lips to Harry's neck before slipping his fangs. His fangs. Do you mean like okay? Slipping his fangs into the delicate skin. Harry started moaning and twisting underneath Severus. It was all too much for his sleepy brain. Once Severus had fed, Harry flipped the position with a newfound hunger and did the same as he slipped his fangs into Severus's neck. Although Severus didn't twist in Harry's hold, he was definitely moaning louder than usual. Who knew feeding from each other's necks, first thing in the morning felt so damn good? Harry finished and laid down on top of Severus, getting wrapped up in strong arms. Harry kissed Severus, both of them tasting their blood in the kiss. They started exploring the other's mouth with their tongues, neither taking the lead, but rather enjoy the first buzz from feeding. Oh, by the way, a human cannot drink a lot of human's blood. They can only drink about 5 liters, I think. I mean, maybe smaller than that. Or is it 5 ounces? I think it's 5 ounces, and I learned this the other day. And then their whole body starts to shut down. So, don't drink someone else's blood, I guess. Or your own, anyways. Like, maybe you can, lick a cut, but that's pretty much it. Your own cut, not someone else's, because they have different bacteria than you, and that would be gross. Unless you're into that kind of thing. Gross to me, because I'm thinking about bacteria, and what has 2020 done to me? Okay? Whatever. Harry was the first to start wait, what? I'm so confused. They started exploring each other's mouths with their tongues, neither taking the lead, but rather enjoying the afterbuzz from feeding. Harry was the first one to start moaning, and that's when Severus started taking dominance in the kiss and biting Harry's tongue slightly and softly. Things were getting really heated between the two of them, more than they've ever done before. Harry started rocking his hips, his body moving on its own accord. Severus rolled his hips in time with Harry. They both threw their heads back, lost in pleasure. Their speed got faster and faster. Wait, are they actually doing it? Or is this just dry humping? Because I understand that. If they're doing it, that's how Josh Wolf wolf's son came upon them, accidentally walked in on his dad doing his mom, and he waited 20 minutes and they weren't done yet, and he still had to knock. He's like, I'm looking for the car keys. It's out there. And he's like, no, they're in your pocket. He was 18 at the time. Oh boy, walking in on your parents doing it, that sucks. Anyways, things were getting really heated between the two of them. Wait, what? What the fuck? Rolled his hips in time with Harry, and they both threw their heads back, lost in pleasure. Their speed got faster and faster, and the kisses got more intense, lustful, until Harry stilled, then Severus, and they both slowly came undone, and they shared one more kiss. Harry slipped off of Severus and lay next to him, charming their mess away and spelling their sweat away. He curled up into his lover's side and sighed happily. That was amazing. You don't know what amazing is if it slapped you in the face. I'm sorry. You don't have enough experience. Why am I saying that like I have experience? I mean, no, I don't, but reading enough stories, I know. Harry yawned in closing his eyes. Agreed, we'll have to do morning feeds more often like this. Severus smirked. Harry hit his chest lightly, chuckled before slowly drifted asleep in the arms of his man, his lover, his mate, his everything. Okay, so did they just dry hump? Is that what it is? I'm so confused. I think they did, but I'm not too sure, if you know what I mean. What a sweet way to fall asleep. I mean, that sounds like a really relaxing way to fall asleep. Exhaustion. That's the best type of sleep ever, because you are solid as a rock, and when you wake up, you're like, oh, I feel so much better after that. Yeah. Exhaustion is the best way to do it, but don't exhaust yourself too much. Their speed got fast. Oh, wait, nope. I don't want to read that again. What a sweet way to fall asleep in the arms of his everything. Oh, my heart. Anyway, I'm sorry it took so long for me to post the chapter. Hope everyone had a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Okay, so it's 2017, I'm guessing. No. 2018, because they said that I just found out. Oh wait, maybe it is 2017. Hope everyone had a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Yeah, because he died in January 2016, and the Princess Leia, or Carrie Fisher, died in December, right after the movie came out, or in the middle of it, really, when she was making it. She died. Their speed got fast. Hope everyone had a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Vote, comment, and everything else I normally tell you to do. Until next time, peace out, my chicken nuggets. Okay, chapter 30. Harry rushed into the living room as he heard the flow alarm. Oh, sorry. I scratched my nails on something. And started blasting through the house. He got there just in time to see Draco gracefully walk out. You didn't hear a single word I said, right? Good. That's good. She didn't hear. Okay. And dust the little bit of soot resting on his shoulders. Only seconds behind Draco was his boyfriend, James. James walked out with a little stumble, but stayed all upright as Draco caught his arm. Draco brushed the soot off and placed a sweet kiss on his boyfriend's cheek. Graceful as always, love, Draco chuckled as he walked over to Harry and embraced him in a hug. Not gonna lie, Potter, but I did not miss your face. Also, you look horrible. Go and try to fix that hair now. Thank you. Harry laughed as Draco sat down on the couch with his legs crossed and his hands resting in his lap. Graceful as always, love, James chuckled as Harry walked away. Harry had a massive smile on his face as he entered the kitchen and clicked his fingers to gather. Should he just snap his fingers to gather all the snack he needed to kick off the party? Plates, bowls, cups, food, napkins, bottles of drinks came flying out of the fridge and cupboards. They floated in the air in front of Harry, and he made his way back into the living room with everything following him. It landed on the table, and Harry had a laugh when he saw Draco eyeing it, all with his mouth hanging open. Graceful as always, love. Harry snickered and dodged the pillow flying his way. James fell off the couch, clutching his stomach and gasping for air. Both Harry and James had tears streaming down their face when Severus and Theodore walked into the living room. Severus knew what had happened due to his hearing, but Theodore was so confused and sat down next to the sour-looking Draco on the couch. The fireplace lit up again, and Blaze came through, followed by Crabbe and Goyle. Then Goyle. Just like Draco had, the latter two had their mouths hanging open, looking at all the food. Whereas Blaze made a beeline for Theodore, missing his close friend. Close friend. Who are you kidding? So we are only waiting for Pansy. I will punch Severus for saying what he just said. Not all women take forever, okay? Remember that. We are only waiting for Pansy, we are only waiting for Pansy, asked Severus as he guided Harry to sit in the armchair with him on his lap. Yep, he responded as he sat down on his lover's lap and leaned back, relaxing before the party started. Who knows when she's going to turn up? True, she could be forever. She is a female after all, Severus said, chuckling deeply. Mother! Listen to this line. They're waiting for a person, and she's a female, okay? This is why he says it. He goes, true, she could be forever. She is a female after all. Mm-hmm. No, that's just Magnuson. We're late for everything, apparently. Or you are. Is John ever late? No.
He's never been on time.
Oh. I wouldn't know. I haven't been paying attention. Oh, that's true. So Magnusons are always late. Some because of another Magnuson, and some because they are just a Magnuson. Anyways, let's keep going. Okay. Chapter 31. Don't worry, everyone. The star of the group is here, Pansy shouted as she exited the fireplace. No soot touched her perfectly ironed dress. Everyone in the room simultaneously rolled their eyes. Pansy took the last spot around the living room, and Harry stood up. Everyone quieted down, and all eyes rested upon him. I'm so glad we got to catch up. I've I'm even more glad that Theodore will stop bugging me about how bored he is." Everyone chuckled, and Theodore threw Harry the middle finger, which Harry responded by making a heart with his hands. Now we're gonna have lots of fun, eat lots of food, and for those who are staying tonight, we are playing more games. A cheer went around the room, and Harry laughed. He signaled for everyone to stand up and follow him. The food followed them as well. Harry led them to the pool side, where they could kick off the party. Those of you who want to swim, jump right in. Now I've recently charmed the pool so that when you jump, it instantly changes your clothes into swim clothes and transfers your clothes to the cupboard over there. Harry pointed to the newly added cupboard in the far corner. For those of you who don't want to swim, you can play games of exploding snap, or chess if you want. Everyone ended up going in for a dip in the pool to begin with, Severus and Harry swimming away from everyone else to steal a few kisses. There was until one of the guys charmed water to dump on their heads for kissing in front of us, they said. A few games of Marco Polo were played, and two of water volleyball were also played. Everyone was laughing and smiling and having a good time. That was until Draco and James got out of the pool and started jumping back and doing tricks. James took a run up and slipped, falling backward and hitting his head on the concrete before landing in the water. What a dumbass. But then again, I'm kind of concerned. He didn't move for a second, and Draco screamed before diving into the pool, grabbing his lover. He pulled James out, started crying when James wasn't responding to him. Severus rushed over to the two as everyone else froze. Severus summoned his emergency potion supply kit and ran a diagnostic spell over James. He started chanting spells, and Draco couldn't stop crying as James began turning blue in the face. Yikes. What a party ruiner. No, I'm kidding. Bad joke. Chapter 32. Harry walked up to Draco slowly, placing a hand on his shaking shoulder. He then walked over to Severus and kneeled down beside him, placing one hand on Severus' shoulder and picturing energy transferring from his body into Severus, and then into James. After a few terrifying moments, James opened his eyes and started coughing up water. Severus rolled him up on his side as he couldn't choke out on the water coming out, so he wouldn't. "He's going to be okay," Severus whispered, sounding louder in the silence than it should have, after he ran another diagnosis. I was going to say diagnostic, but diagnosis. Draco collapsed on the floor beside James, just laid there hugging him, sobbing in relief. James slowly sat up with the help of those around him. He gave a shaky smile and then said, "Well, I think it's time for us to move into the next activity." Everyone laughed quietly as Draco hit James lightly on the arm. Everyone that was still in the pool got out, dried themselves off with a fluffy white towel. They all got changed back into their normal clothes and walked out of the pool room, feeling the warm drying charm wash over their bodies as they placed past the threshold. Harry led the group back into the living room, summoning a deck of exploding cards, as they could play a few games of Exploding Snap together. After the mood had been lifted and lightened, Pansy and Draco started complaining about how hungry they were and that all the snacks were gone. Harry sighed and told everyone to go into the room across the foyer, that's it, and to take a seat at the table. Severus followed Harry into the kitchen, and together they charmed everything to follow them back into the dining room. Once the food was set down on the table, and Harry and Severus were seated, everyone immediately dug into the meal, piling large amounts of mounts on their plate. Conversation turned to what they wanted to do after they finished school. "I want to become a healer," Draco answered, receiving a nod from James. "Me too," James said, taking a huge bite of his chicken sandwich. Mayo dripped down his chin onto his plate. Very gross, dude. You got something here. "Well, I want to open my own store and become a fashion goddess," Pansy said in a matter-of-fact tone, holding her head up high. "That's boring. I want to do something like become a professional creature wrangler." Okay. Blaze said, eyes lighting up in excitement. "I want to own a huge house so all the abandoned creatures have a home." "Oh, that's so cute," Theodore said. "I don't know what I want to do yet. I'm probably just settle down with someone, work in the ministry, and start a family. I'm not exciting like you, all of you." "Don't say that," Blaze exclaimed. "You're not boring at all. You're so fun to be around." "Yeah, sure, whatever." Theodore rolled his eyes. "Well, we've decided to open a store selling only the best treats in the world," Crabbe said, sharing a glance with Goyle, who nodded his head in agreement. They settled into the comfortable silence, enjoying their lunch. "What about you, Harry?" James asked, everyone looking at Harry. "I have no idea." "Sorry, it's taking me so long to write again. I have had a super stressful year. My chicken nuggets. Please get..." Every time he or she says chicken nuggets, I just remember, the kindergarten video game that I want to play so bad. Because there's this actual guy called Nugget in the game, and he will kill you sometimes. It's a really weird game called Kindergarten, so check it out if you like it. Please forgive me. I beg for your approval and forgiveness. Hope you liked the chapter. Please comment, vote, and I'll see you next time. Peace out. I mean, why do you need to be forgiven? I don't see a reason why you should ask for forgiveness. You didn't do anything wrong. Okay, let's keep on going. Chapter 33. "Time to wake up," Harry said as he walked into the room where everyone was sleeping. No one moved a muscle, nor stirred from their slumber. Harry bore a cheeky grin as he conjured buckets of water above everyone and tipped them upside down. "Ah!" Simultaneous screams were heard throughout the house. Harry laughed madly as he got death stares from every single person that now sat up soaking wet. "Good morning," Harry smiled as he slowly walked out of the room. He headed down the stairs to the kitchen to prepare breakfast. He made a decent amount as they were going to Diagon Alley. I think I said it right. Diagon Alley. If it doesn't, it's probably my accent. We have a Minnesotan accent, so if it doesn't sound like I'm saying it right, it may sound right to me because of the accent. It might not sound right to you, though. Anyways, after they had eaten, "I'm going to kill that boy one day," Draco murmured to the group as they walked into the kitchen. You got a lot to explain. You've got a lot to explain, you little brat. "Oh, do I?" Harry cheekily smiled as he finished making the last batch of pancakes and floated everything behind him as he ushered everyone outside to the garden. He gently levitated the feast down onto the middle of the giant picnic blanket, and everyone sat down and dug in. Draco groaned as he took a huge bite out of his blueberry pancakes. "Maybe I won't dispose of you just yet, Harry." Everyone chuckled around their food, and they all enjoyed the peaceful silence as they ate the beautifully cooked breakfast. Severus was the first to finish and told Harry as he got up that he had more potions to make and therefore couldn't attend the outing today. Harry smiled and nodded before grabbing his hand and pulling him down for a kiss. A few of the boys made gagging noises while Pansy cooed, eyes sparkling. "All right, that's enough of that," Draco complained loudly, and everyone chuckled as they continued to eat delicious breakfast. The group didn't rush and savored every last bite of the pancakes. But they started getting bored and restless, itching to go and explore the newly renovated Diagon Alley. Backing inside with the empty dishes floating behind them, they made their way to the living room. Then they all decided who would go first and last through the Diagon Alley. Turned out to be Draco first and Harry last. Harry sat on the couch as he watched his friends go one by one at a time through the fireplace to their destination. Once Pansy had finally gone through, leaving Harry by himself, he got up and made his way into the fireplace. Holding out his flu hand with the flu powder, Harry threw it down at his feet, while at the same time shouting, "Diagon Alley." The world spun as he was taken into the fireplace. Many other fireplaces flew past too quickly for him to see what was on the other side. Finally, he landed on the ground in front of his friends. Crabbe gave him a hand up, and he spelled all the soot away from his clothes. "All right. Shall we begin our grand adventure?" Draco asked as the group started to make their way out of Tom's pub. Chapter 34. The group made their way slowly around to all the stores to collect the necessary items for the new term of school, as well as a few extra personal items. Yeah, their school system's like the Japanese school system, right? Because their first day is April. And they do have a summer vacation, like the rest of us do. But their first day is April, and their last day is the 31st of March. Just a little side note on how the Japanese school works. Term school, as well as a few extra personal items. As the group finished paying for the new potion ingredients, there was a groan and is that whinge? I don't know what that means. From Crab and Goyle about it being almost lunchtime. Ah, they're hungry. I promise we can get lunch after I buy some new books, Draco said as he led them all to the bookstore. Yeah, I could do with some new books, too, Harry said as well. Entering the bookstore, Draco went straight for the section about cooking recipes. Harry followed and grabbed one book before splitting off and going towards another section of the store. This section held books about how to be a successful wizard, a witch business owner. Successful wizard or witch business owner. As well as, I was trying to make it sound like it's supposed to, as well as books to help start different types of careers in the wizarding world. After grabbing a few more books, Harry purchased them and met with the rest of the group who were waiting outside. Draco had already brought his books, and he, along with Crab and Goyle, were tapping their feet impatiently. Lunchtime, asked Crab. Lunchtime, asked Crab. Lunchtime, nods Pansy, while the rest of the group laughs as they head over to a Muggle-styled restaurant that serves burgers and pizzas. And all types of greasy food. It depends, really, what you classify as greasy food and how greasy it is. I don't know if that was loud to you. It was loud to me. I was just getting a drink. After the war, the wizarding population decided to embrace Muggle-borns to help them feel a part of the community by having things that were familiar to them. It caught on quickly since Harry was raised as a Muggle-born and had experienced this idea to the public in an interview with Rita. I don't like her. Never have, never will. Of course, there were families and individuals whom were, and still are, against it, as it goes against the pure-blood beliefs. Who cares? Literally, who cares? Lunch passed by with lots of laughs and smiles and good-tasting food. A popular menu item among the group was the chicken breast and salad burger. What you could do if the purebloods are like that, I like some authentic food. I like some sushi. I can't get a lot of good sushi here in America because it's always Americanized. This is kind of like what it is. Purebloods pretty much wants the authentic food. Thai food is absolutely delicious, and the Thailand people are actually sponsoring Thai restaurants right now and giving them money to sponsor authentic Thai food. Just a little side note to that. That's what I want. I want authentic food. You could have authentic food businesses, and then you could have like Muggle kind of stuff in there. That's what I think. They should have like some of them of the same store, but it's purely just authentic wizard food, and then there's the Muggle brand. Like they should have like a divide kind of. Because some people like the original, some people like Americanized. So, there you go. After the filling meal, there weren't many items left on the list to collect. Harry Harry said he needed to go into a store for a bit and buy something, but he will meet up with them at the Weasleys' Wizard Wheezes. Harry split up from the group and entered the magical menagerie. The smell of all different types of animals hit his nostrils as the sound of screeching and howling and scratching hit his ears. The same old witch with heavy black spectacles that helped Ron and Hermione in their third year appeared from the back of the store and bowed before asking if he needed assistance. I'm guessing that's only in the book because I don't remember that in the movie. So, interesting. Why'd they cut that? That would have been a really good part in the movie. But anyways. Yes. I was wondering if you had many... wondering if she needed assistance. Yes. I was wondering if you had many kittens in your store at the moment? Harry asked, looking around at all the unique range of magical creatures he could purchase. In fact, we do. We had a new litter dropped off a few days ago. Follow me. The old lady hobbled to the back of the store, where she had just been before. As they got to the cage and stopped, Harry's eyes were instantly drawn to two kittens huddled up together in the back corner, away from the others. May I look at those two, please? Harry asked, pointing to the pair. As he held the kittens and looked at them close up, he knew these were the ones. They were perfect. They were meant to be here for Harry to find. I'll take them, Harry smiled. He handed the kittens back to the lady so she could put them back in the cage for now. They went to the counter as she was putting through the my nose just made a little puppy noise, and I don't understand why. My nose not plugged, so I don't know what it is. Okay. They went to the counter, and as she was putting through the price, Harry spotted a sign on the desk about delivery. What's this delivery thing you offer? He asked. After a purchase, a pet or item, we offer a delivery service. It can be free depending on how far away you are, but there's a charge if you want it delivered on a certain day. She explained as she chucked in a few free samples to get him started with the kittens. Great, can I arrange that, please? The old lady smiled and nodded. After sorting out a date and paying for everything, Harry left the store grinning from ear to ear. Harry made his way over to the Weasleys' Wizard Wheezes to find his friends. He found them with no difficulty, as Pansy was throwing one of her famous fits after George had pulled a prank on her with the help of Fred. It just makes it that more... You know why they do pranks, right? It's to get a reaction out of you. So, Pansy, you're giving them what they want. He made his way over the group and found out what had happened from Blaze. Apparently, the two had tested out one of their new products called the Love Flower. When it hovers over a person for a minute, it causes that person to madly become obsessed with the first person or item in their sight. According to Blaze, the product didn't last as long as the twins were hoping for, and once Pansy had snapped out of the obsessing over a pair of shoes one of the twins were wearing, she went right off at them and hadn't stopped yet. Pansy, darling, put your tits back on. They've fallen off with all your yelling. Oh my gosh, I've never heard of that before. I have to use that. Oh my gosh. Pansy, darling, put your tits back on. They've fallen off with all of that yelling, Draco said. Lazily, she studied a potion that could supposedly turn her eyelashes to rainbow color. I don't trust them. I don't trust the Weasley twins with anything with the potion, because they're good at practical jokes and such, so not gonna trust them, even with potions that they're selling. Like, was it tested? Are you gonna use someone? Like, I want to see it being tested right now. The group busted into a laughter, some crying hysterically as Pansy's face turned from anger to rage, and a deep red color. Draco threw his hands up in surrender before turning and leading the group out the store. Fred and George walked with them to the door of the store and said their goodbyes. Oh, so he doesn't have, wait, do they know about what happened with Harry? The group were planning to head back to Harry's place. Well, they were planning to until they ran into two people. It's gonna be Hermione and dumbass Weasley young dude, the youngest boy of the family. Did you hear that? Oh, she's sleeping. I'm gonna back away like Squidward. The Squidward hands. Okay. I'll show her this later. So, let's keep on going. Chapter 35. Warning, foul language that children should not be reading. I repeat, all small children skip this. Okay. I don't understand why small children would be reading a Snarry story, which a lot of people shouldn't be reading if they had a sane mind, but who said I was sane? So, we're all a little mad. Well, look what the cat dragged in. Draco said. Draco turning his head and holding it high. A poor beggar and his stupid little mud. Draco, that's enough, Harry fiercely whispered. I was meant to say slut. My bad, Draco chuckled. He turned on his heels and started walking past the two standing in the group's way. The same could be said about you too, Malfoy, Ronald yelled as he slammed his shoulder into Draco's shoulder. Feisty today, aren't we, Weasel? Draco growled, swinging around as his face, so he was face to face with Ron. Author's note: I'm so sorry I've been so busy. I just wanted to post this little bit to so you know I'm still alive, haha. The new full chapter will be coming soonish. I hope. Peace out, my little chicken nuggets. Oh, that's so sweet. Okay, foul language again. All smile children, skip this until you see another warning sign. Chapter 36. Well, last time you already know what happened. Okay, this time. Shut your mouth, you filthy faggot. Whoa. Ooh. I cringed. I mean, is that supposed... At this point, people have said that so many times to gay people. I'm looking for a better insult. Is that bad? I mean, if I was gay and you came up to me and you called me a filthy faggot, I'd be like, that's all you got? Seriously? I mean, it kind of hurts, but still, like, you're getting so used to that word. You're just, duh. Okay, so, your point being, Ron growled at Draco. Someone needs to put that dog on a leash. Oh, Draco, you don't have to be so rude. I mean, good one. A couple of them laughed along with him. Ron looks between Draco and Ron. Harry looks between Draco and Ron, having a stare-down contest. Harry steps in front of Draco, not making any eye contact with his former friends. Let's just go. Harry started walking away. He motioned for the rest to follow. Yeah, slither back into your... Oh my gosh. Mom, close your ears. Yeah, slither back into your dark...
No, I don't care.
Yeah, slither back into your dark corner like the bunch of pussies you are. Ron yelled at their backs. All of them spontaneously stopped in their tracks, turned their heads to Draco. They're like, are you going to go out after this bitch or not? Draco was breathing heavily and his face turning red. In the split second, Draco had turned around and was running full speed ahead at Ron. Ron turned red in the face, his eyes squinting, forehead scrunched. Suddenly, Ron pulled his wand out and pointed at Draco. Just as Ron was pronouncing the spell, Harry used his speed and strength to stop Draco and protect him from the incoming spell. The spell left Ron's lips, and a flash of white light flew across an empty space between Ron's wand and Harry's back. Harry grunted in pain. Harry grunted in pain, taking one step forward from the impact. The entire group stood in shock. Ron still had his wand pointing at Harry. His eyes went wide for a second before a smug look settled on his face. Come on, Harry. Let's leave these suckers to say their final goodbyes to Harry Pooh. Oh. After all, the Half-Blood Prince isn't here to save anyone from this curse this time. Ron and Hermione walked off in the opposite direction from the group, smug looks on their faces. They even had the guts to share a laugh. Harry, Draco asked, his eyes wide open and going pale in the face. Yes, it was Sectum Sempra. Sectum Sempra. Harry whispered. Draco gasped and went into immediate breakdown. Hey, it's fine. I'll be fine. I know the counter curse. Draco collapsed in James' arms, holding in his tears, trying to compose himself as much as he could in public. Harry turned to the rest of his group. Who's the fastest learner of spells? Harry asked. Everyone looked at Crabbe. What are you looking at Crabbe for? Crabbe and Goyle are the dumbest people in the whole Harry Potter series. Have you ever... Well, I've seen the movies, and I know that they're stupid. Really stupid. But I never really thought that they could be, smart in any universe, so I guess this is kind of cool. He shyly nodded before walking up to Harry, pulling his wand out on the way. Okay, so the spell I need you to cast is Vulnera Sanctor. I hope I spelled that right. I said it right. I need to say it you need to say it 3 times, all right? Do you see the blood patch? Crabbe nodded. Okay. Well, poke your wand in at the wound as you say it each time. You got it? Crabbe cleared his throat. He practiced pronouncing it once before starting. Soon Crabbe had successfully carried out the counter curse. Harry rolled his shoulders rolled his shoulders, feeling sore and tired. They all agreed to go back to Harry's place now. Harry needed to apply some dittany to the wound anyway, so it wouldn't scar. Author's note: Hey, this is my precious it's my precious chicken nuggets. How are you? I've been so busy at college, for those who call it that, and my personal life has been hectic. Oof. Girl, same. I literally only had my first chill day at home yesterday for the first time in 3 weeks. The joys of now being a legal adult. No. There's nothing good at being a legal adult. Let's just say that. When you're a kid, you want to be adult so bad. Nowadays, you don't want to be an adult. Take it from me. Okay. Right. Haha, so hopefully I can produce the next chapter soon. I have my plan of what it will be like. I just need some spare time. Anyway, have a good morning, day, evening, or night, and I'm going to sleep now. Peace out, my chicken nuggets. How long is it? Oh, I got time. Chapter 37. The group arrived back at Harry's place. Draco was ranting about the weasel and all the different ways he could get payback. Severus was lounging on the couch, waiting for them to come back. Harry collapsed beside him, resting his head on his shoulder. Hey, I need to apply dittany. Would you come and help me? Harry asked Severus quietly. Severus's head shot to the side. His eyebrows crunched together. Why? What happened? He asked with a great concern. Harry sighed. His body felt like the after effects of the curse still pulsing inside him. He really needed to rest, but he felt bad because he had guests over. Harry, Draco said. Harry, go apply some and then rest. We will be okay by ourselves. We will see you tomorrow morning, all right? I know how you are feeling right now. I've been through it. Go rest. Severus looked concerned. He was wondering what they were all talking about. Literally, yes, you know what Draco went through because, first of all, Harry did that curse to him. I think it was Harry who did it when he was looking in the mirror. And Severus was the one who healed him. So, I mean, Severus, wouldn't you, if he's been through it, then you would have known what it is. And the side effects, too. Harry stood up and bid them all a good night. Severus followed Harry out of the room. Harry turned around to face Severus at the bottom of the staircase. He looked super pale, more than usual. He started to sway on the spot. Harry, Severus, he said weakly, I don't feel good. Can you carry me? Severus didn't hesitate as he picked him up and carried him the rest of the way to their bedroom. After closing the door and gently placing Harry on the bed, he summoned the dittany, and sat beside him, gently running it on his lower back. Harry, I still don't know what happened or why you need dittany, Severus asked, looking at his weak mate. Sorry, Sev, I got attacked today, Severus gasped quietly. I stepped in to stop Ron from casting a spell on Draco. I let the spell hit me instead of him, Harry said quietly. He quickly took off his shirt and revealed the closed-up wound that still had blood around it. Severus lightly traced the wound with his finger. Anger built up inside him that he wasn't there to protect him. It was symptom cetra. Before you ask, Harry whispered. Severus's grip on the tetany bottle was so tight it got crushed. Glass flying onto the floor. Harry turned around and gripped his mate's hand. Hey, don't be angry at yourself. It's all right. I'm all right. I handle everything. I just need some tetany, which is currently all over your floor, so I don't get much of a scar. Harry soothed him, rubbing his hands. Harry used what was left of his energy to clean up the mess on the floor, and summoned another vial of tetany. I don't know why I'm saying tetany. It doesn't have an E, it has an I. It's a D. Tetany. He handed it to the deadly quiet Severus and turned around as he could apply the tetany to his wound. I need to sleep. Go supervise the brats downstairs. And make sure they get to bed at a reasonable time. You sound like a mother. Are you sure you don't have any children so far? They are his children, pretty much. He's the mother. He protects them, basically, and tells them to calm down and helps them with everything. He's a mother. He makes food for them. Yeah. Mother. I need to sleep. I love you. Stop being mad at yourself, honey. Harry said, kissing Severus and slipping under the covers. Severus left the room. He was absolutely shocked that what the weasel had done. Attacking another wizard for no reason apart from a pitiful feud. Uh-oh. Spicy. Author's note. Hey, I'm back. I'm so exhausted. We've been making short films at uni, and I have zero energy. Also, they have a filmmakers. They're going to get a film degree. Oh, that's cool. And I have zero energy. Please give me a comment if you like the story so far. Keep strong, my little chicken nuggets. That was painful. I could feel his pain. It was just because my back is really sensitive. Okay, 10K views. Right now it is 11:34 p.m. on the 20th of November 2018. So I was right. Okay. And this story has reached 100K views. OMG. What? This story officially has 100K views. I am freaking out. Thank you all for making me so gosh darn happy. I love you all. Thank you, my little chicken nuggets. I wouldn't say you're welcome because I'm not part of that 100K views because, as you can tell, I am way behind schedule because it's 2021. But you're welcome. Oh my gosh, why are you bugging out? Okay, chapter 38. Oh my gosh! Okay, there will be a smut scene later on this chapter, so please skip if you want to read it. If you don't want to read it, I'll put a warning for it just before it happens. Oh, thank you. Harry, hurry up! Drago yelled as all 8 of them rushed towards the awaiting Hogwarts Express. They were running later than usual as Harry still wasn't feeling fully recovered since being hit with the spell. But instead of staying home like Severus insisted, Harry packed his things and slowly joined his group. He's finishing his last year of Hogwarts. Let him finish. He's like a mother on a mission. Don't stop him, because if you get in the way, he will run you the fuck over. They were running later than... whatever. Okay. But instead of... Harry packed his things and slowly joined the group. Coming! I'm coming, Harry yawned as he tried to walk faster to catch up with the group. Suddenly his trunk grew lighter. He looked around and saw Severus pointing his wand at him from afar. He smiled and nodded his head as he finally turned around and caught up with the rest of the group. Let's hope there's still some compartments left, Draco yawned. They weren't that late. Oh, crap. They weren't that late, but they weren't that early either. The group made their way to the back, with Draco taking the lead. This one is empty. It'll do, Draco said as he opened the empty compartment and dumped his trunk on the rack. He flopped down and pulled James down beside him. He cuddled up to him and closed his eyes. I told you that you shouldn't have gone to bed. You should have gone to bed early, didn't I, love? James smiled sweetly as he played with Draco's hair and gave him a little kiss on his temple. Harry smiled at the pair and sat down next to the window. The group were chatting amongst themselves apart from Harry. He was still completely tired. He slowly closed his eyes as he rested his head against the window. Harry was sitting on a bed in an empty... This is his dream. Harry was sitting on a bed in an empty room. It was completely dark apart from the moonlight, and that was creeping in through the window. Harry got up and tried to open the door, but it was locked. He turned around and went to the window. As he got close to it, he discovered the window had metal bars on it. He let out a frustrated sigh. Panic started to set in as the moonlight faded, and the walls started to slowly close in on him. The beds scraped against the stone floor as it was being pushed around. Harry tried punching the wall to break it, yet nothing worked. He raced back over to the door and tried to knock it open. Nothing was happening. The space started to get closer, smaller and smaller. That's like a claustrophobic's nightmare. My goodness. Whew. Harry had no choice but to get back on the bed, as there was no more floor space, as all 4 walls came in. Soon the walls were engulfed. All floor space and engulfed all floor space and started to squish the bed. Metal groaned before caving into the pressure. Harry was dripping in sweat and found it hard to breathe. End of dream. Harry, Theodore called out. Harry! Theodore shook his shoulders. This time, Harry opened his eyes. He looked around in a quick moment of panic, before realizing it was all a dream. Sorry, what's wrong? Harry cleared his throat and wiped some sweat off his forehead. Were you having a dream? Were you having a nightmare? Theo asked. Yeah, I suppose you could say that. It was a weird dream. He laughed awkwardly. We thought so. Well, anyway, it's time to change. We are almost there. Harry noticed everyone else had already changed. He smiled and nodded. After putting on his robe, he sat back down and sighed. How are you feeling? Pansy asked in concern. Honestly, I should have stayed home. I feel like absolute shit. Harry scratched the back of his neck. But I really don't feel like missing out on the traditional back to Hogwarts feast. The group laughed and conversation turned to school and schoolwork. Soon the train slowed down before it eventually pulled to a smooth stop at the station. Everyone calmly got off and started to get on the carriages. Nothing eventful happened during the feast, apart from the glares sent between Harry's group and Ron and Hermione. At least they didn't have the balls to come over and start anything. I'm going to head to bed now. I feel like shit. I guess I'll see you all for breakfast tomorrow. Everyone bid him good night before he walked off. The walk to his and Severus's chambers were quiet and peaceful. Harry had missed the feeling of being in the halls of Hogwarts. After getting in and changing swiftly into his pajamas, Harry laid down. He was about to close his eyes when he heard Severus walk in. Harry? Severus called out. In here, he responded. Moments later, Severus walked in while starting to unbutton his robes. Moving to a new place so I can read this. Sorry, I had to throw my can away. Starting to unbutton his robes. Hey, sexy. Harry chuckled as he got out of bed and walked over to him. How are you? Weren't you just feeling like shit like moments ago? What the fuck is this? I'm fine. More importantly, how are you? Severus asked before leaning down and grabbing a quick kiss. I'm tired, Harry said as Severus took off his robe, revealing his next layer of clothes he had to discard. Harry placed his hands on Severus's chest and leaned up. You mean like went up on his tippy toes, like for another kiss. This time they kissed for a longer time. Suddenly Severus gasped and broke away as he felt cold air hit his skin. He looked down to find all his clothing removed apart from his boxers. You cheeky brat, Severus growled. Smut scene starting now. I'm so glad I moved when I did. He picked Harry up and threw him on the bed. He quickly crawled onto the bed as he was hovering over Harry. You are so lucky that you're hot. Otherwise, you would be in so much trouble, Severus whispered before leaning down and kissing the smirk off Harry's face. Harry moaned and lightly bit Severus's bottom lip, asking for entrance, but Severus wouldn't allow it. Instead, he shoved his tongue into Harry's mouth, taking complete dominance of his kiss. Harry arched his back and moaned. He was quickly getting aroused. Hey, Severus pulled away and quickly attached himself to Harry's neck, kissing and sucking at the delicious skin. Oh, Harry moaned at a certain spot on his neck, which felt really good when Severus would kiss and suck on it. Okay. Cool. Help me. Severus knew he had found the right spot and got to work on making a hickey. Harry placed his hands on the front of Severus's chest, but before sliding them around so one hand was tightly gripping his hair, the other was dragging his nails. Wait, what the fuck? Dragging his nails down the back of Severus's back. You're so beautiful, Severus said, kissing the spot one more time before leaning back and admiring his work. He looked down at Severus's face and Harry's face and took in the half-open green eyes, half-parted lips, the slight twinkle in his eyes, the faint blush on his cheeks. What did I do to deserve you, Harry Potter? Severus whispered before capturing the younger man's lips. The kiss was more passionate this time. They both enjoyed the slow kiss with no dominance from either of them. Harry flipped Severus over, gently straddling his stomach, placing his hands on Severus's chest. You haven't fed today, Harry whispered. Are you hungry? Severus nodded his head. Harry smiled sweetly down at him, before leaning forward and turning his head to get the best access for him. Severus grabbed onto Harry's hips and slid his fangs into his side, right beside the hickey he had made. Harry groaned, and he got more aroused even than before. Severus took another to get him through the next day, or more before pulling out and licking the wound. Harry didn't even bother saying anything as he turned his head a bit harshly into Severus's neck. Severus gasped from the sudden pain, but soon groaned as he became aroused from being fed on. Cool. Fun. Harry took much less than Severus, but before pulling out and licking the wound, much less than Severus before pulling out and licking the wound. Harry and Severus were both breathing heavily, and before they knew anything, Harry was leaning down and kissing Severus madly. He began to move himself down and started to grind against Severus. Harry smirked as he felt Severus being completely submissive to him. Harry also felt how aroused Severus was from being fed on, and how he too slowly moved his hips in sync with Harry's. Harry groaned and felt his head fly back, Severus dragging his nails down Harry's back, and watching the beautiful expression coming from his face as he experienced pure bliss. Harry hissed and sped up his grinding. Soon Harry lost control and came undone. He collapsed on top of Severus, panting heavily, although he could still feel Severus' arousal beneath him. I'm sorry, Harry panted. He sat up and straddled his stomach again. He shamefully looked down into Severus's eyes. It's okay. He brushed Harry's sweaty hair away. Oh, are they gonna do it? This is my question. He sat up and straddled his stomach again, and it's okay. He responded. He brushed Harry's sweaty hair away from his face. I'll just go finish myself in the bathroom. Severus chuckled and started to move, but Harry placed his hands on his chest, stopping him. "No, I finished before you. Let me do it," Harry asked shyly, not making eye contact. Yeah, I wouldn't either. That would be creepy. I'm like Harry right now. Yeah, I wouldn't look in his face. No. Yeah, if I said that. Severus lifted Harry's chin as he looked into his eyes. "It's all right, Harry. You don't have to. It's fine." Severus tried to reassure. He went to get up again, but was pushed back by Harry's hands again. "Let me." Harry made eye contact. "Please." Severus's heart melted by the green eyes as he wordlessly nodded his head. Harry moved further down the bed and sat between Harry's demonetized Severus's legs. He took a deep breath before pulling down his boxers. I was watching Dad's games last night, and in the ASMR one, she was like talking about small penises, that they looked more friendly, and Daz was like, "Wait, how does it look like more friendly looking?" And he's like, "You just like unzip it and it just pops out like, hello." This is what it reminded me of. I'm not saying he's small, I'm just saying. I'm sorry I ruined the moment, but I'm sorry, I'm crying. I'm such an asshole, I'm so sorry. Severus sprung out, dripping with, wow, excitement. Let's just say that. Harry licked his lips and leaned forward. Before he touched it, he made eye contact with Severus. Why? I'm not like this. I would feel so embarrassed. I mean, like, now, if I was the guy, I was like, I wouldn't make eye contact. What the hell? He smiled at Harry before Harry looked away and licked the top of Severus's. He looked back at his, as he heard Severus gasp. Now I'm all giggly. Darn it! Hold on, I need a breather. I'll be back in a second. Hold on. I don't know why I'm so giggly. Someone must have slipped me like something to make me happy. I didn't even find it this funny when I first watched the video. Why am I laughing so much? Yes, I took about a 30-second break, maybe even less than that. Okay. He noticed that his mouth was hanging open. His eyes were half open, staring straight at him. Don't stare at me, please. I'm so self-conscious, though. Harry smirked before taking him in his mouth and swirling his tongue around it. He could hear Severus's breathing becoming heavy. He made eye contact once again and held it as he slowly took as much of his in his mouth as he could. Oh no, I'm thinking back to the Hermione story. Darn it! I'm just cursed. That story cursed me. That's it. I'm just gonna think about it constantly now. Severus gasped and bucked his hips, making Harry gag on the extra amount hitting the back of his throat. Severus moaned as Harry gagged. I just hope my mom's less listening. Harry grabbed the rest that couldn't fit in his mouth and started rubbing it and squeezing it gently. Ooh, boy. He began to bob up and down and using his hand to help the rest in length. Severus was feeling like he needed more friction, so he decided he grabbed onto Harry's hair and moved his head up and down faster. This is not a rewrite because I said the C word and wanted myself to be demonetized. Okay. Where was I? Harry's hair and moved his head up and down faster. Harry moaned around sending shivers down his spine. Severus then held Harry's head still and began bucking up into his mouth, constantly hitting the back of Harry's throat, which made him gag and moan constantly as well. Soon, Severus felt close to finishing. Severus let go of Harry's hair and rubbed his cheek. Why? Instead of gaining his attention. I'm about to finish. You can either let me finish in your mouth or pull away and jerk me off. What I do for YouTube. Severus grunted, trying to hold back until Harry made a decision. Harry moaned as he looked up at Severus, not moving his mouth away from his. Severus grabbed Harry's hair again, but maintained eye contact as he sped up and Harry's mouth. He fucked Harry's mouth, pretty much. Okay, there you go. He held eye contact, and soon it came in. Finished in Harry's mouth. Harry, instead of wanting to spit it out, swallowed it, gulping down every last bit of it. It's not that I find it disgusting, it's just me reading it on YouTube for anyone to see. Harry pulled away and licked his lips. He tucked Severus back in before crawling up beside Severus and giving him a kiss. That was effing hot. Harry said, out of breath. I know, it was amazing. Severus responded. This person's in college. Okay. This makes me uncomfortable. I'm going into college soon for a nursing degree, and I have to talk about a penis. Yes, that's a technical term for it. Penis and vagina. Cool. We love that. Smut scene over. Harry sighed and pulled the covers over both of them. "Good night, my love," Severus whispered, kissing Harry on the forehead. "Good night." Harry kissed Severus on the lips before turning over. You're not going to brush your teeth? That irks me. I would brush my teeth. You always brush your teeth. Please say you brush your teeth before you go to bed like that. I mean, sometimes you can forget, but after that, you're just going to have that in the morning and then have morning breath on top of that? Oh, honey. No, that's why you don't get a morning kiss. There you go. It makes me want to brush my teeth right now. I feel gross in my mouth. You know what? I'm actually gonna brush my teeth after this. It's not that I find the boy thing gross. It's just that you're not brushing your teeth, and then your breath is gonna smell like trench foot in the morning. That's what it smells like when you have had your wisdom teeth come out. So, good luck for that morning kiss, though. Good night, Harry kissed Severus on the lips before turning over and pressing his back to Severus's chest. Author's note, W. Paragraph. Wow. My first time writing smut. I can tell. I mean, no, I can't, actually. I think you've done it for like a couple of times and you're still getting used to what happens afterwards. Yes. Okay. I think the people who can write smut either has done research or has had experience. Take that how you wish. I didn't know where I was going to go with that, but okay. Let me know how I did if you read it. I love you all so much. This has been a long ride, and I know I have let you down with how bad I am at continuing to update this story, but thank you all so much for your support. I love you all my chicken nuggets. There should be a comma there, but yeah. You know what I'm gonna do? Hold on. Yeah, this wasn't a time skip. I kind of left a comment that says I was surprised he didn't brush his teeth at the end, because tomorrow, with the smell of morning breath mixing with the residue of Severus, won't mix well. Yeah, the smell won't be pretty. That's all I'm gonna say. Nope, that's okay. Oh my word. Okay, chapter 39. Okay, I was looking back on the story a few days ago and realized that I need to improve how it's written. I was like 12 or 13 when I've begun to start writing this story. Now I'm being 18 with a different writing technique. I kind of don't like some of the older chapters. I kind of want to improve it and reconstruct some of the things, but I feel like you guys like it for how it is. Yep. Let me know if you want a new improvised version. Literally just redo what the sections are if you have a problem with it. Fun fact about me is that I have bad memory. Oh, Sam, I have a really bad memory too. Now when I say that it means I struggle to remember what happened in the past. Oh, so long-term memory loss. It's mostly in older people, as you guys already know, but it's called dementia. But I don't think she has dementia. Or they, sorry. I don't know if it's a she or he. Have dementia. I don't think they do. But I have problems with short-term memory loss. Literally, you tell me something and I forget it seconds later sometimes. Because if you tell me something else at the same time, I'm like, whoa. Slow down, partner. I'm still trying to remember the first thing you told me. Sorry. Let's keep on going. Struggle to remember what happened in the past. So imagine me reading through a story and foreshadowing something I had to add for later chapters, but they never end up happening because I completely forgot about it. Maybe those things I left out could be added into the new improvised. Don't do an improvised version. Just add on to it. Add on to this. Lastly, before we get into this chapter, why would y'all read it? This story is like a cringy, weird, and sometimes absurd. Yes, it is. And you know what? We need cringy and absurd in our lives, don't we? Don't we, y'all? Anyways. Absurd. Anyway, just a little update about how I feel right now about this book. Enjoy this latest chapter, My Little Chicken Nuggets. Still think about kindergarten when they say that. Sorry. I say she because it kind of reminds me of a feminine writing style. Like coming from a girl, not a male, female, not male. But then again, it could be just how they write, and they could be a male that likes writing about this. It's fine. There's nothing to judge. Some of the guys actually subscribe to me, talk about, they're like, oh, by the way, I have a girlfriend. I was like, you're cute. I'm like, they say to me, and I go, thanks? Don't tell my girlfriend. I'm like, who's your girlfriend? I don't get it. I'm like, literally, this is on public that you're saying this, so good luck, my dude. Yes, I do have male fans, which is fine. It's whatever, right? Anyways, let's keep going before I keep on talking myself into a stupor. Chapter 39. The following morning, Severus woke up before Harry did. He spent a few minutes just staring at his partner's beautiful face. Tell him to go brush his teeth. I'm still irked about that. I'm gonna brush my teeth after this. Before having a shower and getting dressed for the day. He left Harry asleep and went to the Great Hall to watch any early risers, even though most of the students would all be sleeping in today as classes don't start until tomorrow. He sat down, a Daily Prophet appearing in front of him, as well as an unmarked envelope. Severus decided to read through the Daily Prophet. Nothing important in the paper. Albus entered the hall and sat down next to him. Wait, they don't sit next to each other, do they? In the movies, I remembered Severus being at the end of the table. And Trelawney said that it was bad luck for 13 people to sit there, and the first person of that 13 to rise will be the first to die. And it was Dumbledore. Sadly, she was true. Trelawney does sometimes predict real things. Sometimes her predictions are wrong. But it's kind of, you give or take. It's kind of weird. Good morning, my dear boy. Good morning, my dear boy, he said happily. Good morning, he said quickly, turning the page. How were your holidays? He asked. Eventful. Severus grunted back. So I could imagine. Albus. Oh my gosh. I just looked ahead and it was in all bold and it was in a different color and it's in bigger font. Well, it looks like it. Vengeful, Severus grunted back. So I could imagine, Albus pondered. Anything exciting in the daily? He said after a pause. No, he answered back, placing the paper down once he finished the last paper. Severus passed the paper to the headmaster and grabbed the unmarked envelope. He swiftly cut it open with a butter knife. Took out its content. Inside was one page with bold letters on it, as well as a picture of Severus. He gulped. He started to read the letter. Are you ready to die, you fucking faggot? Severus looked to the headmaster, who decided not to telling him. He decided to go back to his room and speak with Harry. He swiftly left without another word to anyone else. He made it back to his quarters within a minute. Severus found Harry sitting on the bed, obviously just woken from his sleep. I had the weirdest dream, Harry said, frowning as he saw Severus come in. You were in the great hall and received a threat from an anonymous person. Severus lifted an eyebrow before holding up the letter. Did it look like this? He asked. Harry jumped out of bed and walked over to Severus. He grabbed the letter and nodded his head. This is exactly what I saw. Oh my gosh. You poor thing. Screw the letter, just, you okay? like, whoever sent this is stupid. Harry said, embracing his partner. I'm contacting Xavier. Harry left the room and started writing a letter. Severus sighed and sat back down on the bed. He placed his head in his hands. Why would something always have to happen? Why couldn't he live in peace? Just a short update. Let me know your thoughts on a new and an improvised version. I'd be interested to hear your opinions. Good morning, day, evening, or night, my little chicken nuggets. Sorry. I'm gonna go show Mom the thing. Mom? Where is it? Okay, is it 32? Okay, so it isn't 32, it's 34. Wait. No, it's 33. Darn it. Son of a bitch. Nope, it's 34. Darn it! Ugh! Okay, they were planning to... Mom! Is she asleep again? You're not gonna sleep well if you sleep during the day. You're not gonna sleep well. I know. Can I say something?
No.
Do you know someone like this? When you're mad, someone will say this. Pansy, darling, put your tits back on. They've fallen off with all that yelling. Because she's screaming at someone. Doesn't it sound like Dawn to you?
Oh, yeah.
I have to bother her so she doesn't stay home all the time. If she stays home, then it's no fun for me. Okay, thank you guys. I'm going to end it here. This is going to be posted on Saturday, but I made this on... What is today? Friday. I made this on Friday. Give it a big thumbs up. I'm going to go brush my teeth because this is irking me. And yes, I am actually serious because I do relate to characters and how they feel. And this is irking me up the wall. And I think that it's... At this point, if it was my school and someone was giving threats all the time, they would be expelled. And he should be. He should be moved to have to attend the American Hogwarts. I forgot what they were called. But thank you guys for watching. Give it a big thumbs up. I will talk to you guys later, unless you want me to read one more chapter. How long is it? Hold the friggin' phone. Hold on. It's 40. Yeah, we'll do that for the next chapter because we have 6 more chapters after that. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 chapters. I'm sorry. 7 chapters. And anyways, thank you guys for watching. Give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below which was your favorite part. Mine had to be... Pansy, put your tits back on. They fell on the floor with all the yelling you're doing. That was my favorite part because it reminded me of Mom's best friend. Her name's Dawn. Lovely gal. And, but if you have a best friend that's like that, tell me. Let me know. If you have new stories, comment down below. Or contact me on Wattpad. I have a Wattpad thing. I write my own stuff. And right now, I don't know where I put my notebook. I wrote some fan fiction of my own, and I don't know who I should put as a pairing in the creepypasta version. So, I don't do Harry Potter fanfic because I'm not good at that. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Please I guess my stomach's hungry. Give it a big thumbs up, comment down below, and subscribe. Put on push notifications so you're notified every time I post. Next after this is Hermione. I will definitely need to take a whole shower after that one. But, you know what? Who cares? And I don't know what you think about the collab I did with a friend. So I need you, well, we're friends online. I don't know her per se because I don't want to sound so rude. She is a friend. I became friends with her online. I just don't know her personally. So let me know what you think. I'll be drawing up a schedule when we will be doing different books. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. It was a great pleasure to read this story, and I will be definitely praying for this author because they got into a car accident and they're having struggles with school. And that would be nice, right? Okay, guys. Love you guys so much. Be happy, be healthy, and always be loving. Bye-bye.